Welcome in TNC Radio.live. We are live on a Wednesday night. This is Taillights. And now here's your host, Angie Baum.
Welcome in, everybody. So I am here today with some lovely ladies. We've got Candace, Ashley, and Lisa, and they have formed a great Facebook group and TikTok group. It is called 32 Truckers a Day. And I figured we would start with Candace and kind of let her introduce herself and how the three ladies got together to form this amazing organization. So Candace, you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So I am Candace. I am a trucker wife. I ride full time with my husband. So the idea of the group kind of just came about. There's the statistic that 32 truckers a day commit suicide, and there's really no mental health awareness, and we just want to be that open line for a driver if they feel the need that they need to reach out.
Absolutely. And I was actually looking at the statistics, and it was showing that 32 truck drivers a day lose their battle with depression and mental illness, and 44 veterans. But I'm like, when you think about how many truck drivers are veterans, I bet you that veterans number is a lot higher.
Absolutely. There's a lot of veterans that have, come out of whatever service they were into and jumped in a truck. And I know quite a few veterans that are now truck drivers, and it's sad that, there's 32 a day. That's way too many. One Absolutely. Is way too many.
Absolutely. Lisa, we had you on the show a couple of weeks ago. You were on the show with your husband, Scott, and I thought I'd let you introduce yourself and also tell a little bit about why you decided to help form this organization also.
I just keep wanting to wave at the screen because I forget there's no video. I'm Lisa, and I have been a trucker's wife for 25 years. My husband is an Army veteran, and he suffers from PTSD. And we just think that there are other groups. There are some amazing other groups, and Candace can tell you about these other groups also. We just started this group because we felt there cannot be enough groups. There can't be enough groups preaching about how this has got to stop. How, truck drivers are lonely. And when a truck driver gets on the road and he's been 8, 9, 10 hours, and the mind is a dangerous place, especially when you have nobody to talk to about what's going on in your life, or if you're having a bad day. And social media is amazing, but it's also very cruel. And I know that a lot of drivers are made fun of on social media, and it might just be, I might be online, Candace might be online, Ashley might be online, Angie might be online, and it just might be that day that somebody makes this disgusting TikTok about them or social media post, and they just need somebody to talk to. And we want to be somebody they can talk to. It's not only us, like I said, Candace can talk about some other groups, but I just don't think there can be enough groups out there, Angie.
I completely agree. While I was researching for the show today, and I was trying to look up statistics, it said that truck drivers are the 5th on the list for the highest risk of work-related suicide. The trucking industry has been classified as one of the highest risk occupations in the United States. The stress and the loneliness can clearly be seen as factors in making truck drivers' suicide risk so high. And I think I know all of us have had someone in our life, whether it be, a trucker or some family member, that has either thought about suicide or has gone through suicide. And when we heard the statistics of 32 truckers a day, we're like, that number is just too high. If there's anything we can do to reach out and try to bring that number down and to possibly make a difference, we want to do our part. Ashley, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to everybody. And I forgot, ladies, at the end, I'm going to have you guys give your TikTok handles as well. But Ashley, I'll let you introduce yourself and why you decided to help join this organization as well.
Thank you. I'm Ashley. I'm also a trucker's wife. I ride with my husband full time. I'm new to the game, but I've met these lovely ladies and had a connection. And you know, I've watched my husband go through days where, I mean, he's just a different person, like completely different person. And I see this roller coaster of emotions go through him. And I've often thought to myself, excuse me, what would he do right now if I wasn't here to like level him out? If he was in this truck alone right now, what would happen? And so that's scary to me. And a lot of people aren't as lucky to be able to have their partner with them on the road to do that. Or maybe they don't feel comfortable even calling their own partner, because there is a stigma with that, with the mental health, you know, like they need to be a man or, you know, whatever. And that's not fair to them. They need to have somewhere else that they can reach out to if they don't feel like they can do it with their own family or their own friends. We can be an anonymous person on the other end of the phone and just let it all out to. And we can keep going from there, or sometimes they just need that one phone call just to vent and they feel better. You know, whatever it is that they need, we can be there. And I just think, like they said, there's not enough groups out there. That number 32 is so high. Even with all these other groups, it's a high number for anybody to be able to be accessible for that many people all the time. So the more of us that are out there, the more people we can help.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we do want to say that 32 Truckers a Day is a rather new organization, and we do hope, and we are actually in the process of talking with other organizations that also help out and provide mental health awareness within the trucking industry. And we don't want people to think, you know, oh, trucking industry, high suicide rate, I don't want to go into trucking. That's not what we're saying. But we're trying to educate the public that one of the problems with being a trucker is the loneliness on the road. And unfortunately, that can lead to people having dark thoughts. And so 32 Truckers a Day is kind of like, we want to be your beacon. We want to be your light. You know, reach out to one of us. Let us help you before you get to that point where you're having the suicidal thoughts. Is that about right, Candace?
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly right. You know, one of the other charities that we're working with is Truck Drivers of America charity, and you know they're a lot more established than we are, and you know we're trying to work with them hand in hand. But you know there, like you guys said, there can never be too many, and I feel like you know if we can all work together, you know, one charity group may have people and truck drivers that you know that we don't, and we may have some that they don't, and if we can catch all of them and let them know that they're never alone, that's the main goal, you know, to help as many truck drivers as we can.
Absolutely. And Lisa, you kind of touched on something that I think is super prevalent right now. So many of us, especially truckers, are on social media a lot, because social media is kind of like an outlet. When you may not be able to see your family all the time, you can get onto social media, talk with other truckers that are in the same situation. But like you said, along with that comes, you know, a lot of cruelty in the social media. And I know that we've seen it firsthand. Do you have any advice for truckers that might be dealing with some of that cruelty on social media?
I think that, you know, if we just reached out, it's kind of like that old saying, well, you're a rookie or you're a veteran driver. Everybody, in one sense, is a rookie driver, or we've all been there before. And so I think that before you tape somebody doing something on social media, you have to think, wow, I bet I did that when I first started driving. You know, you have to think about their feelings, and sometimes that's so hard to do. And like I said, social media is good, and it's also the root of all evil. I think that people need to think before they post things, what that person could be going through, because they could be going through the same thing. It just makes me, I'm sorry, Angie, that is such a you know, firsthand, that is like a tough subject for me with social media and the cruelty. And I think that we need to look into ourselves and we need to do better. I mean, basically, we need to do better.
Absolutely.
We've all been first-time drivers. My husband says I still can't back up. 25 years later, still can't back up a Tonka truck.
Oh, yeah, I have those days, too. We're going to take just a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with Lisa, Candace, and Ashley. But in the meantime, you can visit their Facebook page. It's 32 Truckers a Day, also on TikTok and Instagram. But we'll be back in just a few minutes. You're listening to Taillights with the Baums.
The best GPS for truck drivers. Although there's several GPS apps, it's better for truck drivers to rely on a system that's specifically geared toward their type of work. Smartphone apps lack the ability to show truckers the roads that are inaccessible to trucks. Buying the right GPS for trucking can be tricky and overwhelming. To save you from tons of research and reading reviews, the Truckers Network has listed the best GPS devices for truck drivers in 2020. Check out their website. Here's a brief list. Garmin Diesel 580 LMTS. The Garmin Diesel 580 LMTS is an easy-to-use GPS with hands-free Bluetooth and built-in Wi-Fi. It features customized truck routing for the size and weight of your truck. It also provides helpful predictive route warnings for dangerous curves, steep grades, bridge heights, weight limits, and more. You can find nearby hotels, restaurants, and parking with their easy brake planning. This GPS is truly made for the long haul. Other features include customized truck routing, built-in directory of truck and trailer services, easy brake planning, and service history log. The TomTom Trucker 620. The TomTom Trucker 620 is a 6-inch GPS navigation device that allows you to get the most out of your driving time. The TomTom Trucker 620 can connect by Wi-Fi, and that lets you update without a computer. It makes calling and messaging easier by providing hands-free calling and smartphone services. It also provides free real-time traffic updates and truck maps throughout North America. Other features include battery lifetime up to an hour. It reads messages out loud from a smartphone. It's compatible with Siri and Google Now. It has customized truck routing. The Garmin Drive Smart 61 LMTS. This Garmin device makes trucking much easier. The Navigator features a collection of smart features, in addition to easy-to-follow instructions and helpful driver alerts. It also provides hands-free calling, live traffic information, and built-in Wi-Fi. With this GPS device, all you have to do is look up and drive. Other features include voice-activated navigation, Bluetooth calling, select live parking, and a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that lasts up to an hour. Kathy DeCaro is nothing short of amazing. She not only drives the world's biggest truck as a heavy equipment operator in northern Alberta, Canada. She's an international motivational speaker and the author of Dream Big, an autobiography about overcoming a lifetime of trauma and abuse that led to dreams of success. Kathy inspires people the world over to change their lives and improve their self-worth. Her book will change your life. She's passionate about personal growth and believes anyone can change their circumstances and overcome their obstacles if they believe in themselves. Her life will amaze you and seriously inspire you. Be sure to order a copy of her book, Dream Big, on Amazon.com.
Hello, I'm Rod Samuels. I put it in reverse gear Monday through Thursday nights at 10, 9 Central on TNCRadio.live. We know that life as a driver is not easy. Between four-wheelers and Mother Nature, sometimes life throws us curves like no one else. Quite often we need help from the good Lord just to make it through the day. When you do, dial the TFC Global 24-Hour Prayer Line. It's 866-515-9406. Now, if you're using the TNCRadio.live app, just press the prayer line button to be connected with a prayer warrior who'll confidentially pray with and for you. The number again, 866-515-9406, or tap the prayer line button at the TNCRadio.live app.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums, and I have three special, lovely ladies with me tonight. They are from 32 Truckers a Day. I have Candace, I have Lisa, and I have Ashley. Before we get started, I did want to mention that I am a proud part of the prayer line here at TNC Radio, and I just wanted to share that number, and I will share it again at the end of the show. But we have a prayer line. It's 24 hours a day. If you feel that you just need a prayer warrior to sit down and talk with you about anything, you can call 24 hours a day. That number is 866-515-9406. And if you have the TNC Radio app, you can just click on the prayer button down at the bottom and be connected to a prayer warrior. Ashley, I was going to let you kind of chime in a little bit. I know that, you got involved with this, and I know that you're a trucker's wife and you are super active on social media. A lot of people know you. Have you been touched or know anybody that in the trucking industry maybe that has gone through this?
Some of the people that I've met through social media have told stories about being in such dark places that they contemplated things. But I don't actually know anybody that's family or close friends. I mean, I consider them close friends now, but at this, I met them through social media, so I've known them for a short while. But outside of trucking, I have family members that have struggled with mental health and suicidal thoughts, very, very close to me, including our own children.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Lisa, you brought up a good point, and Ashley, you kind of touched on it too. When we're talking about mental health and just, being healthy out there, whether it's our physical health or mental health or whatever, especially in I will say male truckers, and I'm sorry, guys, throw you under the bus, but I'm going to, male truckers, they have that macho persona that they have to uphold. And so saying, hey, I need some help, or I just need someone to talk to, sometimes is not an easy thing to do. So what would be your piece of advice maybe for a male trucker who maybe doesn't have a lot of family or friends and maybe is struggling right now?
I think go ahead, Candace, you got this.
I think really everyone has portrayed, that men have to be tough. Men have to be strong. They have a family they have to support. And I think that, this, so to say, persona has been placed on men that you can't share your emotions and you can't share your feelings or you're not strong. And that's absolutely wrong. Everyone has feelings, everyone has emotions, and they're all valid. And, I have started this with a non-criticism, I want you to feel comfortable sharing whatever it is that you need to share, and just know that you'll never be judged. And I do not agree with that, so to say, persona that the world has placed on men, that they have to be strong and they have to pack their feelings away. And really, it's more so that the social media has placed that on men. You have to be strong. And that's, I've always heard, my grandma always told me the strongest people even fall. And I just want to be there to help you back up.
Exactly. Lisa, did you want to chime in on that as well?
Yeah, I think that it stems from a long time ago where men were men and women were women. And I think some of our older generation still have that persona. My grandfather, don't ever let him show your weakness. Don't ever stay tough. You're the man of the family. You need to stay tough for everybody else. And I think that it's carried down. I do believe it's getting a little bit better, but I don't think we've gotten rid of that. Don't let him show your weakness. I know my husband is terrible at that, not letting me show when he's having a bad day. But I guess I've been with him long enough that I know the signs, and a lot of wives do. But you've got truckers out there that there's nobody with them in the truck, and that's very sad. that they might want to just reach out to somebody, but they don't know how. Now, I think me and Candace have talked about this earlier, that we need to incorporate some other organizations with us, because some men don't want to talk to a woman either.
Absolutely.
They want to talk to another man.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that I love the most, is that, you're wanting to try to work with other organizations just so we can make as big of an impact on the trucking industry as possible. Because like you said, there cannot be too many organizations that are trying to help, just be a sounding voice out there to say, hey, if you need somebody to talk to, there's somebody here you can talk to, and no judgment. And, we'd rather you call us than to maybe react out of emotion and do something that, you're going to regret.
And I just want to say one more thing, though. I just want to say, we're not only for the truck drivers. We want to support the wives, too. The wives that stay at home, or the husbands that stay at home, because they need that emotional support as well as the one on the road does. I think. Yeah.
I've always said my number one thing is I'd never feel that, and I have to specify, truckers' wives and truckers' husbands, because and our truckers' girlfriends and boyfriends, whoever is the person that stays home, I don't think they ever get enough credit. They're the ones that's taking care of the household. They're the ones taking care of all the maintenance, the bills, the children, the grandchildren, and their lives are just as stressful as the trucker, if not more than stressful than the trucker. So absolutely, we want to reach out to anybody in the trucking industry. You don't have to be a trucker to, utilize the resources at 32 truckers a day.
Absolutely. And I don't want anyone to feel like, we have this line that you can call. And I don't want anyone to feel like they're going to upset when they call and say, well, I would rather speak to a man. If you're a male, I would rather speak to a male, because that's like, don't let that stop you from making that call, because we can find that male that will help you.
Absolutely. And I wasn't sure who chimed in a minute ago. I don't know if that was you, Ashley, but you can go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, that's going back to how we all met, trying to find support as the trucker wife. That's kind of how we all met too, trying to be a support system for each other. And so this is all just kind of branched off of that, because there's days where I'm going to lose my mind riding on that truck with that man. I love him to death, but some days I don't want to be anywhere near him, but I'm stuck in a box and I can't go more than an arm's length away from him. And you need somebody to talk to.
That's so true, because I think oftentimes people forget how small and confined these spaces are. And, we're not just talking about the solo drivers out there. We're talking about, the husband and wife teams, or the trucker wife. And when there's two people in a confined space, it's not always going to be sunshine and roses. Trust me, I know for a fact. And sometimes you just need a person, a sounding board, someone to talk to.
And another thing to make note of, make sure it's known, is, if you call and you're telling us personal information, that's not going anywhere. And unless you need our help reaching out to another organization or something like that, it's staying there. It's confidential, it's private. We don't even need to know your name if you just want to talk.
Absolutely. And I do want to mention that you guys are in the process of setting up a hotline number where that should be in place soon, where people could call. But in the meantime, you can go to the Facebook group, TikTok, or Instagram, send a message and just say, hey, I need somebody to talk to. We will put you in touch with a male or female if you have a preference, and make sure that somebody gets in touch with you, because we want you to reach out, especially if you're having a bad day. We want to be that resource to you and be sure that you can get a hold of us. When we come back, we're going to take a quick commercial break. I do want you ladies to give out your TikTok information, because I know that, a lot of you guys are really prevalent on TikTok and other social media platforms. And so we want to make sure that people know how they can reach out to you as well. So we're going to take just a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll be talking with Candace, Lisa, and Ashley from 32 Truckers a Day, and you are listening to Taillights with the Baums.
Be sure to listen to Building Strong Minds with Dr. Chris, Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, right here on tncradio.live.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Cortman, and now for the Mental Health Minute. Are you a control freak? I asked you that in the first part. And I also explained how control is not only a good thing, but it's necessary if you're going to live a happy and successful life. So when is control a bad thing? Very simply put, control is bad when you attempt to control other people. Control is bad when you attempt to control things that don't belong to you. The weather, the traffic, the stock market, and other people. You're not called a control freak just because you keep your closet in order. You're called a control freak because you try to keep somebody else's life in order. Think about it. You're out of bounds when you're trying to get people to vote like you do, or to believe like you do, or just to live the life that you want them to live. You know, unless they're your children and you need to teach them important things, try not to control the lives of other people. Instead, look in the mirror and do a good job controlling your own life. In this next video, we're going to talk about why do people become control freaks and what do they get out of it.
You're listening to TNCRadio.live. Remember to tune into the Truckers Network radio show with Shelley Johnson, weekdays at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. Ready for the power of positive and something that will put you back to a time you wanted to last forever? Music is the ultimate time machine. What was your favorite time? Do you want to go back there? LTD Radio features the songs of the 70s, 80s, and 90s that will transport you to a happier time. It'll make you smile and brighten your day. We could all use that about now. TNCRadio.live is proud to carry the great music of LTD Radio.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums. We've been talking with Candace, Lisa, and Ashley from 32 Truckers a Day. I did want to mention before we get started into our next segment that we've been talking a lot about mental health awareness amongst our truck drivers. And I do want to let everybody know that there is a suicide and crisis lifeline that you can call or text that will help you with trained counselors that are there to help you if you are in a serious crisis. That number that you can call or text is 988. Again, it's a suicide and crisis lifeline. If you are having serious suicidal thoughts or thoughts of harming yourself, please be sure take down that number. You can text, you can call, it can be anonymous, but you're going to be talking to trained professionals that will be able to help you out during this situation. And again, you can text or call. That number again is 988, and it's the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Hey,
Candace,
Angie,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Angie, before you go on to your next one, do you want to hear what it sounds like when you call 988?
Absolutely.
Let's do that real quick. So if you call 988, this because people sometimes are like, I don't know if I want to call, I don't know what's going to happen. Or, I think you're going to find this very interesting, especially from the perspective. Remember, close to 30% of truck drivers are veterans. And so I think you'll find this very interesting to see how they handle this. So if you dial 988 instead of 911, you get this.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprima el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor.
Okay, so I hung up there because then it's going to find a counselor as close to me as is reasonable. Now, the problem is not even every state has the right kind of thing that they want to work with 988. So if you're in the middle of Wyoming, you may or may not be connected with somebody in Wyoming. But if you're in a large city, you'll probably be connected with somebody who's in that city who may direct you to a specific location to receive help, face to face, or bring you to someplace that is a safe place for you to be. And a lot of times when somebody's in a crisis situation, that's what they're looking for is, I feel unsafe and I need to be in a safe place, and they can help you get to the right place. But I just wanted to put that out there. It's not a scary thing to call it, and I know that for some people it can be scary just calling and ordering a Domino's pizza. It's just like, oh, I hate talking to people. I just don't even want to talk to somebody. But they're not scary, and this is what they do. This is what they do every day, all the time. They're amazing people, and they'll hear you, and they'll be with you, and they'll see you through that moment of crisis. And of course, as we were just talking too, if you want to talk to somebody in the trucking industry, you got you covered there too. You got Prayer Line, you got 988, you got some people in the trucking industry. There's no good excuse. And see, we took away all your excuses. Now what are you going to do?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all out there.
Well, I did want to share with you guys all, 32 Truckers a Day does have a phone number that you can call. And I'm going to repeat it a couple times throughout the show. But if you did want to talk to someone, and again, this is not like you're in crisis situation. This is just maybe you're feeling a little blue, a little depressed. You need somebody to talk to who can relate to you. You can call this number. It's going to be 681-245-3095. Again, that's 681-245-3095. And I'll repeat it again later on in the show. Candace, I did want to talk to you a little bit. I know you and Lisa could kind of mention earlier today that you guys were going to be putting together some gift baskets. Did you kind of want to tell everybody a little bit about that?
Sure. So we, I know, like, I have been, in a situation where I needed just some mental health guidance, and, a good shower just helps you reset. So we thought, let's hand out shower bags to these truckers, these guys and gals, and, just include like maybe some little shampoo, conditioners, body washes, razors, some shower shoes, just something that you can take in with you, go get you a nice shower, reset, because sometimes literally just a shower just is all you need to reset your mind. I mean, a good shower goes a long ways.
Oh, and that's so true, because any trucker or trucker's wife or anybody that's out here on the road knows, in this industry, unfortunately, it could be a couple days before you're able to get that shower, and what a difference a shower can make to your mindset.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely guaranteed. I just real quick touching on that. The worst argument that my husband and I got into was after being stuck in a certain state where it's very difficult for us to find parking. And we weren't able to shower for like 4 days. And as soon as we were able to stop and get a shower, both of our moods completely flip-flopped, and we were much better.
Oh, that's the truth. Larry and I go through that too. If there's times where we can't get a shower for 3 to 4 days, I hate to admit it, but I will. We get on each other's nerves and we're fighting like crazy. But the moment we take a shower, it's like, oh God, I feel normal again. I feel like myself. Okay, everything's okay now.
Absolutely. And and that's another thing also. Some of these truckers starting out, they don't have the money to pay for a shower, and they haven't built up enough points for a shower. I'm sure we could help with that. And so, between the different organizations, we can help find them a shower, whether or not we take it out of our pocket if we need to, or somebody out there has shower power, or, whatever the other ones are called. We can find somebody what they need. to help them feel better.
Absolutely. And that's such a crucial thing. I did want to give you ladies all a chance real quick, and I guess we'll start with Candace, and then we'll go to Lisa, and then we'll go to Ashley, since that's how I've got you guys down. But I want you guys to kind of give out your social media so that if people, are on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, they know how they can follow you. So Candace, we'll start with you.
Okay, so on TikTok and Instagram, I'm under Peterbilt Princess 2. I also have a little backup TikTok, Peterbilt Princess 2.0. I can be reached at any of those. I'm also on Facebook under Candace Shiflett. I can be reached there, and I can be you can message me at any time that you need to.
Lisa, you want to give out your information?
I am Lisa Schroet, and I am on TikTok as Spoiled Trucker's Wife. Facebook, I know everybody laughs at that one. Facebook, I am Lisa Schroet. I also have Instagram, that is Lisa Schroet. You can reach out to me on any of those anytime you like.
And Ashley?
I am Ashley Liddell. It's Lidd. Never spelled right. On Facebook, that's me. On TikTok, I am trucker_wife 623. And I do have an Instagram under both of those names also. But to be honest, my kids laugh at me because they say I'm old because I don't use Instagram. I just use Facebook. But they are there, and they do pop up as notifications on my phone. I'm not very active. So I can be reached at all of them.
And I think most everybody knows who I am, but I'm Angela Baum. That's my name on Facebook. You can also go to Married 2 The Road on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram if you ever need to get a hold of me or you need to talk to somebody. I do want to give out the number one more time. It's going to be, if you need to talk to somebody, you're a trucker or trucker's wife, you want to talk to somebody at 32 Truckers a Day, you can call this number. It's 681-245-3095. You can also visit their Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram page. It's 32 Truckers a Day. We're going to take another quick break, and then we'll be back talking with these ladies at 32 Truckers a Day. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums.
As a professional driver, the engineers at Front Lane know that you remain focused on the road regardless of weather and traffic conditions. That's not always true of the drivers behind you. Every 9 minutes, another commercial vehicle is rear-ended by a driver failing to control their speed. And guess who gets the blame? When you have to brake quickly, Tailbone illuminates a series of bright LED lights that allow the driver behind you to react up to 50% faster. Using amazing accelerometer technology and a battery that will last for years, Tailbone meets the standards set by the NHTSA and the FMCSA. Learn more by visiting www.frontlane.com/tailbone. That's www.frontlane.com/tailbone. Approved in all 50 states. It's Tailbone by Front Lane.
This info blog on tncradio.live is brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. Everything truck drivers need to know about sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is an issue that affects 1 out of 3 truck drivers. Truck drivers who drive tired may be unaware of how much their lack of sleep affects their driving. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration attributes 2.2% of all driving accident fatalities to drowsy driving. Well, there's not a law in place that requires truck drivers to get testing for sleep apnea. If you suspect you have sleep apnea, stay with us to learn more about sleep apnea and how it can affect truck drivers. What is sleep apnea? Sleep apnea is a potentially serious sleep disorder that causes you to have pauses in your breathing or take shallow breaths during sleep. It's an extremely common issue that affects millions of people in the United States. If you snore loudly during the night or still feel tired after a full night's rest, you might have sleep apnea. According to the Mayo Clinic, the main types of sleep apnea are obstructive sleep apnea, the more common form that occurs when throat muscles relax, central sleep apnea, which occurs when your brain doesn't send proper signals to the muscles that control breathing, complex sleep apnea syndrome, also known as treatment-emergent central sleep apnea, occurs when someone has both obstructive sleep apnea and central sleep apnea. Symptoms of sleep apnea. According to the Sleep Foundation, all three types of sleep apnea share certain common symptoms. Disrupting breathing in which a person's respiration can become labored or even stop for up to a minute at a time. Excessive daytime sleepiness, morning headaches, irritability, limited attention span, or difficulty thinking clearly. Many of these symptoms arise because of poor sleep and decreased oxygen levels that occur as a result of interrupted breathing. Some additional symptoms are connected to obstructive sleep apnea. Snoring, including snoring that's especially loud, and involves gasping, choking, or snorting that may cause a person to briefly wake up. Morning sore throat or dry mouth. Frequent need to wake up to urinate. Causes and treatment options for sleep apnea. Sleep apnea occurs when the airway becomes blocked while sleeping. Here are some common causes of an increase in airway blockage. Being overweight, sedative medication, alcohol, family history of sleep apnea, smoking cigarettes, sleeping on your back, nasal congestion. If you suspect you have sleep apnea, reach out to your doctor to get a treatment plan going. Avoiding treating your sleep apnea can result in losing the ability to operate a commercial motor vehicle. Most often, treatment plans will require you to have a CPAP machine in your truck. The CPAP machine helps pump oxygen to you while you sleep. In addition to using the CPAP machine, your doctor may recommend exercising, losing weight, or using different oral appliances that help hold open your airways. As a truck driver, it's crucial to take care of yourself because trucking is such a difficult and demanding job. At times, it can be challenging to take care of your health. Sleep apnea is a real issue in the trucking industry. We encourage all drivers to be aware of the symptoms and to get help if they suspect they have sleep apnea. This info blog was brought to you by The Truckers Network on app.thetruckersnetwork.net.
I'm Shelley Johnson with Kathy Tuccaro. You can hear us Tuesdays on tncradio.live at 8 p.m. Eastern on Women Road Warriors. And don't miss Steve Summers' Overnight Drive right here on tncradio.live, weeknights midnight to 5 a.m. Eastern. Brought to you by Hot Shot Secret.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
diesel fuel cetane levels.
The cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Candace, Lisa, and Ashley. They are from 32 Truckers a Day. I did want to mention before we got started on this last segment, we've been talking about some pretty serious stuff tonight. And I do want to again mention this number. If you are feeling that you are having some issues that maybe just talking to another person is not going to help you out, and you're feeling like maybe you're having a crisis situation, there is a number that you can call or text. It is a suicide and crisis lifeline. We just called that number during the last segment. It's very easy for you to use. You can call it. It's anonymous, but you can call it or text. It's 988. If you need somebody to talk to and you're feeling that, just talking with another trucker is not going to do it. But I did want to also mention that 32 Truckers a Day does have a number that you can call. That number again is 681-245-3095. Now, Candace, during the break, you brought up something that I really wanted you to mention on the air. One of the things I think truckers, and I know myself and other truckers, one of the things I think every trucker talks about is not feeling appreciated out here. We did during COVID for a little tiny bit, but now, the world's gone back to the way it was. But you brought up that you go onto TikTok and you say 5 positive things every day. Can you just kind of reiterate a little bit about that? Because I thought that was so awesome.
Absolutely. So in the mornings, when I'm having, when my husband's doing his pre-trip and we're starting our day off, I'll have my coffee and I'll just skate around on TikTok and honestly, it's not even really just truckers, but I do pull truckers first, and I'll just jump in there live and I'll say the 5 things: you're needed, you're valued, you're important, you're worthy, and you matter. Because you never know when someone just needs to hear how much they are appreciated. And we all know as truckers, you don't get that. And for someone just to hear it that one time starting their day, or, if you're a nighttime driver and you're ending your day and you end your day with those 5 important, values, that we want to say thank you, it could help someone. I never want to be, and I was talking to you guys during the break, you never know when someone's on that cliff, and I would rather, be the nice person on social media to help you come back than to say something nasty that some of these other people on social media are saying and, be that push over the edge.
Absolutely. I did want to mention also that, did you want to tell everybody a little bit, and I'm only learning about this a little bit, so I'm not really familiar, but can you explain to everybody a little bit about what Heroes of the Highway is?
Absolutely. So Heroes of the Highway is a spouse support group, which we are on TikTok. However, we are going to start doing a live every Sunday at 2 p.m. If if you're a trucker and you just need a place to come in and just spew it all out, let it out of your body, have other truck drivers who will be in the live. We can, we just want to have that one place where you can just come in and let it all out.
And I know we're not the only ones on TikTok. There are a couple other, what is the one Monday night mental health?
Right. Mental Health Monday.
Yeah. So,
Mental Health Monday. And there's a few others. Is that Ashley? There are a few other groups on TikTok that do amazing lives and talk to other people. And I think we've decided just Heroes of the Highway, because truck drivers are here. There are heroes. During COVID, they were absolutely amazing heroes, and everybody loved us, and everybody stopped. I mean, at rest areas would give out food, and I mean, it was incredible. And then that just kind of disappeared when COVID disappeared, and now we're not as well appreciated as we should be.
Right. Absolutely. And I did want to tell everybody, you had mentioned Sunday at 2:00. Is that Eastern, Central, and is it on TikTok?
It is on TikTok, and we will do that at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and it will be under the Peterbilt Princess 2 account.
Okay, so just a reminder, just so everybody knows, Heroes of the Highway will have an open chat every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And it's just a place for anybody to come in and vent. Maybe you're just having a bad week or a bad day. But so it's anybody within the trucking industry is welcome. They don't have to be a trucker, correct?
No, absolutely not. Wives, anybody, not even just in the trucking community. I mean, anybody who just needs a place to unload, we will be right there.
That's awesome.
I know. One thing that's been nice for us, am I breaking up still?
No, you're good.
Okay. Sorry about that. One thing that's been nice for my husband and I is these different groups on TikTok and Facebook and all that. Like I said, we're new to this. We're starting out. We have questions. We have new experiences. You guys were talking about rookies earlier. Definition of rookies right here. I mean, my husband has been CDL driving for 6 years, but this is the first few months of OTR. So we're all new. So one great thing that I have just embedded myself in these TikTok communities for is just for guidance. Like I've had questions like, hey, what about this? Hey, one time I popped into a live because we didn't really know. We were going through Wyoming and we had like 15,000 in the box and they were saying high winds, but we didn't really know what wind's too high for us. You know, we didn't know. So these are just places that you can come in and you can vent, you can ask for help, advice, you know, whatever you need. Just come hang out.
Okay, you couldn't have ordered that any more perfect. That's exactly it. So, I do want to remind everybody that they can get more information about you guys at 32 Truckers a Day on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Candace, is there any other thing that you wanted to mention before we get ready to close the show? We've got about 3 minutes left.
I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered it all, you know, just, you know, never feel like you're alone. There's, you know, multiple resources, and please don't be afraid to use them. Don't ever feel like you're alone. We're here.
Absolutely. And just a reminder, if you need somebody to talk to, male or female, it doesn't matter. Again, the number that you can call to reach one of us is going to be 681-245-3095. I also want to reiterate that TNC Radio does have a 24-hour prayer hotline. If you would like to talk to a prayer warrior about anything, can be anonymous. That number is 866-515-9406. Or if you have the TNC Radio app, just click the prayer button at the bottom of that. Lisa, I was going to give you a few minutes. Did you have anything that you wanted to kind of mention before we get ready to close the show?
No, I think the only thing is I think we found a really amazing trucker's prayer that Candace wants to say at the very end. I do believe. Am I correct, Candace?
Absolutely. I can get it pulled up right here.
But no, come on, talk to us. We're here, whether it just be you're having a bad day or you just have been in the truck too long and need to talk to somebody. We have no problem. Reach out to us. We are here. And if we can't help you, we are going to direct you to where you can get help. We're not going to say, listen, we know everything. We know nothing. We just know what we know, but we do know the direction you need to go to find help. If it's just the talk, that's fine. If it's not, 988, we will get you to where you need to be. And that's the biggest thing that we want to stress to everybody.
Okay, Candace, we got about a minute left. I'll let you go ahead and end the show with your prayer.
All right. It is the truck driver's prayer. Oh Lord, I rely on you. Father, please take absolute control of everything. Keep my truck and cargo safe. Protect my going out and coming in. Give me strength for this journey and open my eyes not to doze off. And at the end, let the glory return unto you, O Lord, I pray in Jesus' name.
That was beautiful. Thank you, ladies, so much for being a part of this. I'm sure we're going to have you back on again. Just a quick reminder, we have Clutch Time Sports coming up next with Anderson and Banker. So please stick around. These guys are awesome. Don't forget, we'll be back here again next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. And you can always follow Larry and I